Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss on Unit 1 of BSc 4th Sem Physical Chemistry, and the name of the unit is Kinetic Theory of Gases. We very well know there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. So first of all, what is the basic difference among the three states of matter? The basic difference among these three states of matter is only due to the difference in intermolecular forces of attraction among the molecules. In case of solid, the intermolecular forces of attraction among the molecule is very strong, due to which the molecules are closely packed in solid, which results into the definite shape and definite volume of the solids. Whereas as we move to the liquids, the intermolecular forces of attraction among the molecules are weaker as compared to solid, but they are sufficiently strong to keep the molecules together so that they are having definite volume. So in case of liquids, they are having definite volume but not definite shape. As we move to the gases, the intermolecular forces of attraction among the molecules are very weak, due to which the molecules are at a very large distance. All this result into no definite shape and no definite volume of the gases. The gases take up the shape of container and the volume of the container in which they are placed. So, if we will compare these three states of matter, we can say in case of solids there is definite shape and definite volume. In case of liquids there is no definite shape and definite volume. In case of gases, no definite shape, no definite volume. In the present chapter, we are mainly discussing on gaseous states of matter. So what are the various properties and characteristics of gaseous state? The first point is gases can show indefinite expansion. Means gases can expand to infinite. They will acquire the volume and shape of container. They do not have their own shape and volume. They are acquiring the volume and shape of container in which they are placed. Now, due to large distance among the molecules, they will be highly compressible. Moreover, as we will decrease the temperature and increase the pressure, the gases can be easily liquefied. They can be easily converted into liquid. Now, due to large distance among the molecules, they will possess very low density at normal conditions of temperature and pressure. The gases will show properties of diffusion. Means they will be easily intermixed into each other. They will exert pressure on the walls of container. They will continuously move in different direction with different velocities. The molecules of the gases, they are moving in different directions with different velocities and exerting pressure on the walls of container. And the pressure exerted will be equal in all the directions because of uniformity in the nature of gases. So these all are the various properties of the gaseous state. Now, in addition to the various properties, gases obey certain laws which are known as gas laws. The gases which are obeying these gas laws At all temperature and pressure, they are known as ideal gases. Whereas gases which do not obey these gas laws at all conditions of temperature and pressure, they will be known as non-ideal gases or real gases. So discussing in detail about all the gas laws, the first one is Boyle's law. The Boyle's law was given by the scientist named Robert Boyle in 1662. Now what's the statement of this law? Keeping temperature constant, the volume of a given mass of a gas will be inversely proportional to its pressure. Mathematically, how we can write? The volume of the given mass of a gas will be inversely proportional to the pressure at constant temperature. Or we can write it as PV is equal to constant at constant temperature. So this is a mathematical equation of the Boyle's law. Second one is Charles Gay-Lussac's law. This law was given by Jacques Charles in 1787 and it was further developed by Joseph Gay-Lussac in 1802. That's why we call it as Charles Gay-Lussac's law. Now what is the statement of this law? Keeping pressure constant. At constant pressure, the volume of a given mass of a gas will increase or decrease by 1 by 273 part of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for every 1 degree Celsius rise or fall in temperature. How we can understand this? Mathematically, we can see here what is the statement saying here. The volume of a gas for the given mass, keeping temperature constant, the volume of a gas at a temperature T will increase by 1 by 273 of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for every 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature. So if V0 is the volume at 0 degrees Celsius and T is the temperature at which we want to know the volume of the gas, according to Charles' law, Vt will be equal to V0 plus 1 by 273 into volume at 0 degrees Celsius, which is V0 into T. So what we are getting here, Vt is equal to V0 into 1 plus T by 273. This is according to Charles' law. Volume at any temperature will be equal to volume at 0 degrees Celsius plus for every degree Celsius rise of temperature, it is increasing by 1 by 273 parts of its volume at 0 degree Celsius. Means if we are increasing the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, if T is equal to 1, in that case V1 will be equal to V0 plus V0 by 273. If we are talking about the volume at 2 degrees Celsius, in that case V2 will be equal to V0 plus V0 by 273 into 2. Now, if we are putting here T is equal to minus 273 degrees Celsius, we will get here V is equal to 0. In that case, the volume of gas is becoming 0. So what we can say, at T is equal to minus 273 degrees Celsius, the gas is ceasing to exist. This temperature, which is the lowest temperature at which the gas is ceasing to exist, is known as absolute zero temperature. This temperature is known as absolute zero. In Kelvin, we can write it as 0 Kelvin. So this is the absolute zero temperature at which the gas ceases to exist. So this is all about the Charles law. Next one is Avogadro's law. The Avogadro's law was put forward by Amedeo Avogadro in 1811. Now what's the statement of this law? According to this law, the equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure Means we are keeping here temperature and pressure both constant. In that case, the equal volume of all the gases will have equal number of molecules. In another form, we can also explain it as at constant temperature and pressure, the volume of a gas will be directly proportional to the number of molecules present in the gas. So mathematically, how we can express this? At constant temperature and pressure, the volume of the gas will be directly proportional to the number of molecules. Now at T is equal to 273 Kelvin and pressure equal to 1 atmosphere, the 1 mole of each gas will occupy volume equal to 22.4 liter. What we can say here at NTP or STP at temperature equal to 273 Kelvin and pressure equal to 1 atmosphere, 1 mole of each gas will occupy volume equal to 22.4 liter. This we will have to remember to use it in numericals. Now next law is Graham's law of diffusion. According to this law, the rate of diffusion of a gas will be inversely proportional to the square root of the density of the gas at constant pressure P. Here we are keeping pressure constant. The rate of diffusion of a gas will be inversely proportional to the square root of its density. So we can write it as R is inversely proportional to 1 by under root D. For two gases, we can write here R1 by R2 is proportional to square root of D2 by D1. Now, we very well know the relation between the vapor density and molecular mass is 2 into vapor density equal to molecular mass. So, in terms of molecular masses, we can write the Graham's law according to which R1 by R2 will be proportional to square root of M2 by M1. So this is all about Graham's law of diffusion. Now next one is Dalton's law of partial pressures. According to this law, at constant temperature, the pressure exerted by a mixture of two or more non-reacting gases. Carefully look at this. We are saying here the pressure exerted by a mixture of two or more non-reacting gases enclosed in a definite volume will be equal to the sum of individual pressure which each gas would exert if present alone in the same volume at the same temperature. Means we are having a mixture of non-reactive gases in a container or in a vessel, then the total pressure exerted by the mixture will be equal to the sum of partial pressures of the individual gases. Where what is the partial pressure of a gas? That is the pressure exerted by that gas if it is present alone in the same volume at same temperature. So we will have mathematically total pressure P is equal to sum of the partial pressures which are P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on, and the condition is at constant temperature T and volume. Now, ideal gas equation. How it is obtained? By the combination of Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law. When we will combine these three laws, they will lead to an equation which is known as combined gas law or ideal gas equation. This equation will be applicable to all the gases when they are showing the ideal behavior. According to Boyle's law, volume is inversely proportional to pressure at constant temperature T. We have already gone through it. Similarly, according to Charles' law, volume will be directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure P. According to Avogadro's law, volume of a gas will be directly proportional to the number of molecules at constant temperature and pressure. So combining these three laws, we are getting here V is directly proportional to NT by P. Or we can write here PV is directly proportional to NT. And finally, we have come up with the equation which is equal to PV is equal to nRT, where R is the gas constant of proportionality which is taken here, that is the R which is known as gas constant. So this equation will be applicable to all the ideal gases. Now, what is the gas constant R? In ideal gas equation, we are having gas constant R. R is given by PV by NT. So we can write here R is equal to pressure into volume divided by moles into temperature. Now pressure into volume is what? This is the work done or energy of the system. So we are having R is equal to work done divided by moles into temperature. So how we can say here R represents work done per degree per mole. Now there will be different numerical values of gas constant R depending upon the system we are choosing. Suppose we are taking pressure in atmosphere and volume in liter. In that case, at NTP for 1 mole of the gas, NTP means here temperature equal to 273 Kelvin and pressure is equal to 1 atmosphere. So taking these conditions, for 1 mole of the gas, we very well know the volume occupied by the gas is 22.4 liter. So in that case, what will be the numerical value of gas constant R? That will be equal to 1 atmosphere into 22.4 liter divided by 1 mole into 273 Kelvin. So finally we are getting the value 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. So this will be the value of gas constant R when we are taking pressure in atmospheres and volume in liters. In SI system, putting the various values, P is equal to 101,325 Pascal, volume equal to 22.4 liter, we are converting it into meter cube as we are getting here the value in SI units. So we are having here value of R is equal to 8.314 Joule per Kelvin per mole. In terms of Pascal, we can say this is equal to 8.314 Pascal meter cube per Kelvin per mole. In CGS system, we can have the value of R comes out 101325 dynes per centimeter square into 22,400 centimeter cube. How we are getting this value of pressure? Pressure is equal to H rho Z and 1 atmosphere means 76 centimeter of mercury. And the density of mercury is 13.6 gram per centimeter cube. And 981, this is the acceleration due to gravity here. So finally we are coming, the value of P is equal to 101325 dynes per centimeter square. So the value of R comes out to be 8.314 into 10 raised to power 7 arcs per Kelvin per mole. In terms of calories, we can write here the value of R will be equal to 2 calorie per Kelvin per mole. Now all these values of R we have to remember to use them in numerical problems. There we will have to take care which system we are following. According to that, we will use the value of R and substitute in the numerical. Now next one is the kinetic theory of gases. We will continue in the next lecture.